Hey everyone, it's CurlyHairedHero. Welcome back to Princess 2005 Crystal Drive. I'm actually going to be taking on Shishido here, which is kind of interesting. Taking on Shishido so many times. But this one is actually going to be one of the hardest. I guess it's kind of, what's the word? Fitting that in the last season we'd have to take on Shishido, who's been sort of a thorn in our side. It's been him and Yuta that were extremely difficult for me to take on early on. Afterwards, not as much, and I actually ended up using Shishido a couple of times, and he's a pretty cool dude. I've noticed a couple of things that, after doing a little bit more, like, looking into this game, that I kind of maybe sort of missed out on. I shouldn't say missed out on, because I still have a chance, I believe, to get it. But basically, there is actually alternate like costumes or versions of characters, and I've seen it before. I just completely forgot about it. I just happened to do a search on Prince of Tennis 2005 on YouTube, and I made a new playlist. That's what it was. I made a whole new playlist with every single Prince of Tennis, regardless of season, and I put them in. And while I was searching for that, YouTube shows you, like, you can search for anything to add to the any videos to add to the playlist, and I searched Prince of Tennis, seeing what would come up, and I saw a video for someone that did like one of those videos where it's like all of the specials in one video, and they showed some of the alternates, I guess, I don't know what to call it, costumes, skins, versions of characters. So one of them is actually Shishido before he had short hair. Before he cut his hair and he had long hair. He was actually a singles player, and I actually think he plays a little bit differently from normal Shishido, because I think he has a different special. I bet I could be wrong about that. I have to look into that a little bit more. There's also a couple of other characters that aren't as, I guess, drastic as Shishido, because there's like Kisihara from what is it called? Is it Senku Golfo? Yeah, from Senku Golfo. The twin, he dresses up as the other twin in the red school. Bro, come on, stop using that shit already. How many times are you gonna do this? I don't think his moves are much different. I don't know, I haven't looked into it too much. Then there's also Neil, the character that I just unlocked last time. Him and his doubles partner, I forgot what his name is, but they can kind of pretend to be each other, which is something that they do in the actual series, and I never really understood it very well, to be very honest with you. But it was kind of like Neo dresses up as the other guy, and then the other guy dresses up as Neo, and they kind of like look like each other and pretend to be each other to like throw your opponent off. And it was like this whole weird thing that they tried to do while in these, you know, sense of it being a tennis match. So it was kind of like one of those like moments where it's like, you know, this is like a tennis match, right? Like, I get that it's an anime, right? You have to like combine to the rules of tennis, you know this? So it was very weird in that regard. But you can do that in this game. And I'm sure all of these different alternates have their own sort of perks and have like some sort of different ability or something like that, because they have different cut-ins for them as well, and I think they all have different specials. I haven't like missed out on this. I don't know how to unlock it. I'm assuming I just buy it from the Smith shop, and it just costs a certain amount of points that I really haven't used or seen yet, so I don't really know how much it costs. I don't know if there's an unlock cost for it either, because a lot of these, like, for example, tournaments, I have to do a certain requirement in order to get them, and there's like the goods and stuff, which is, goods are just things that appear on the bench that I don't show, so it's just stuff that's, you know, just there. Stuff like that I kind of have to unlock and go through an effort of getting. There's also the fact that some of these tournaments actually cost a lot of points to get. Right now there is a tournament that I'm going to have to grind for, which is, I think, Spirit of Hardcore. And that one cost a whole fuck ton of points in order to actually unlock. I'm gonna have to work through that. But point is, we have a couple of other things that we can look forward to in this game, I guess. I wasn't. I was thinking to myself as I was doing all of that, I was like, oh, maybe I should have saved that super for later. But I'm like, no, that was a that was a perfect time to use it. It seems it's giving me just enough power and ball speed to get these 2 return aces here. Ooh, but we don't got it with these surveys. What a shame. Now we're in deuce and we're gonna waste our super gauge, unfortunately. But we are getting a nice pop from what the fuck? How did I getting a nice pop from my hits here? I don't know what happened there, but alright. Bank this into the corner over there. There we go. Doing a decent job. It's kind of funny that we're both Hyotes, or both our benches are Hyote benches. Cause I look over, it's my bench and I see Shishido there, and I'm just like, wait a minute. Aren't I just playing you? He's gonna come to the front. Oof. I don't think he's gonna smash it on me immediately after that. That was a good hit. Not bad. She's a very solid character, especially considering that he's one of the characters you unlock from the beginning. Oof. God damn it. Keeps being able to smash it on me from the net, which is kind of unfortunate. Jesus Christ. It was crazy points and games like that that have got us to where we are now. 4-4, this has been one hell of a set. Or one hell of a, I guess it is a hell of a set, but it has been one hell of a match, just to say more accurately. Me and Shishido have just been going back and forth, trading specials. Him more so than me, because I can only really use mine at the baseline. And he's very good at throwing lobs over me. He's thankfully it's kind of funny, it started out with him constantly lobbing the ball over me and just getting it every single time. Then I started to sort of anticipate it, and then eventually he started missing them as well. So it's kind of funny how that's usually how it goes throughout the game. Something that you think is sort of a disaster for you, and then if you kind of stop and process it correctly, things might turn out in your favor. And then there we go. Not like this time where he actually hit a good one. So we just gotta always keep that in mind. There was that one game that I just showed where the computer's super smart. Were this, you know, something that you played against an actual person, where that point, or yeah, that point, if that was something that I played against an actual person, it would have been amazing. Because they were actually able to completely destroy my super gauge, completely obliterate it and waste it, at basically no cost to them. By constantly making me use mine and making that point drag out longer than they didn't need to. Whether or not that was the computer's doing, or what they were going for, is a different story, but that's definitely what happened. There's the lob. Yep. Well, those are the short lobs that are kind of tricky. They're like long lobs are pretty obvious to see, but the short lobs, they are, as you can tell, kind of short. So sometimes they just go just over you where you need them to go, which is really good. I unfortunately don't really remember too well the buttons, because there's a lot of different shots that we can be doing. But I kind of just end up focusing on the flat shot a lot. I end up doing a lot of, I think, this, which I think is top spin, but it didn't really work too much. It might be a slice, one of those two. If I press like L and R and then the A button, because A is just a flat shot. B is a lob, but it's like the worst lob, and you can really only use it I think if you're like really in the back and you're doing a really defensive play, because it's like this pray pray that it'll hit lob, because it'll just go way too gosh darn high. But there is the short lob that you can do, which is a little bit better, and it more or less always goes into the net, and it's always the better option, more or less. I don't know if it's just something sort of like where there's like a control aspect to it. If I play a character that has better control, I get a better lob. I wouldn't put it past this game. It is pretty deep, like I said. It has all these different shots. It is, you know, ironically, the best tennis game, especially considering that the source material, which has guys throwing Hadoukens at each other, and also the fact that it, you know, has all the specials and stuff and all the nonsense. But it is by far the best tennis game I've ever played. Better than anything from like AAA companies that I've ever seen. Not knowing if this is like a AAA studio or anything like that, but better than anything that like EA or any licensed company that has, you know, access to like actual players can produce. Oof, just barely managed to get into deuce here. I've got to break his serve here just so I can finally put an end to this gosh darn match. With the return, nope. Alright. That was a good hit. I got the temple on my side. Whoops, didn't need to swing there. That kind of threw the temple away. Oh, that sucks. I was trying to use my special, but I ended up coming up for a blank smash, but I managed to get it on a second shot. Alright, so we got match point here finally against our old rival Shishido. See if we can get through this. This has been a hell of a match, but oh, damn it. I'm not going to be able to end this just yet, it seems. Alright, let's see if we can break another one of his service points here in this game. See if we can hit our volley. Unfortunately, this tosses me on the ground, so it's not always the best move, but I can always kind of use it again if I have the meter. But sometimes I don't, especially if I'm not in super mode. And one of the most annoying things as well about Shishido spamming his special is that it kind of makes it hard for me to taunt. I can't taunt when the other player is talking, and then the ball kind of comes to my side and I can't taunt in that time, because I can only taunt basically when the ball is on the other guy's side. Oh, that's kind of dumb. I have this special that lets me get my super gauge, but I already have it. So let's do super gauge versus super gauge, I guess. Oh, it doesn't hit. That was a good shot. Oh no! Oh, that was a good one. Damn, 5-5. Oh boy, we might actually even have to go to a tiebreak here if I can't break his serve next. That sucks. Okay, I should be able to hold serve here. Since I got the super gauge, hopefully it lasts. Oh boy, not if he does this stuff. Oh, oof, okay. I was gonna say I didn't want to do it right in front of him, but that actually ended up working out. Oh boy, barely have any super gauge on me. I did the fake there. I didn't mean to do that. I got one last. Oh, volley in me. That's all I got for now. See if I can frantically build up awakening mode here. Oof, gosh, that sucks. That is unfortunate. It's also very hard to know when he does like the actual shot, because there's two versions of that special, I've noticed. It's one that just lets him run into the ball, which in by itself is really good. And then there's another version where he actually does a shot, which just goes pretty far. But it's kind of hard to tell which is which. You have to kind of, I think, look at his gauge and see how much he's using. But I'm kind of focusing on other shit at the moment, bro, so I can't be looking at your gauge. But, you know, alright, we got the, I don't know what to call it. Service point, I guess? I don't know if that's an actual term. Oh, fuck, that was so bad. That was so bad! No! Alright. Can't use my other special at the moment, so I'm just gonna have to serve this normally. Oof. That kind of sucks. Oof, that kind of sucks as well. Alright. I think now is as good a time as any to use my coach ability. Get my coach to encourage me so I can hit this shot here finally. There we go. Whew. Alright, 6-5. Shishido to serve. If he wins and manages to hold his serve, he's actually going to force us to go into a tiebreak here. If I can break his serve, I can end the game here. This is sort of the point of the match where tennis is at its best, but it's also at its most confusing because people sometimes don't understand what it is that's going on scoring-wise. It's like, what? But the guy already made it to 6. Why are they still playing? What is happening? Basically, you play out of 10 games, you play whoever gets the most games out of that. Usually it's, whoever gets 6. At that point, you can't play. You can't get any more than 6, right? But if it happens in a situation where you both play up until 5, and you both have 5-5, you've run out of the 10 games, then you play an additional 2 games where the player that wins 2 in a row gets to declare himself a winner. If not, if you go 6-6, then you guys will play tiebreak, which is a completely different set altogether. We are absolutely demolishing Shishido here while just talking about tennis. Maybe I should just talk more about the rules of tennis more often so that I can just completely destroy a man's career. Let's see now if I can get too cocky. See if we can hit one of these. Nope, he's going to be able to get back there. Oof, damn. I didn't think he'd hit it down the line. That was a good shot. Good shot. We've still got double match point here, which just means if we win any of these points, double match break point. If we win any of these points, we not only win the game, but we also break his serve. And we have 2 shots at this. That's the double. Oh, fuck. That was a good one. I can't believe you beat me at a volley. That's insulting, to be honest. I'm like the volley expert. See if we can get one of these. Oof! With the awakening boost to end it. Oh gosh, darn, that was a 7.5. My gosh. Look at all these smash aces, these return aces. I had a good number of these. You actually have to get a couple of service aces. I used 74 special shots. He used 110. I've never seen numbers this high. I think the most I've seen is like 50. And I was like in a doubles game. That is crazy. That's how you know that this was a real game. Even though that was immensely intense, that's not even the final round. Here comes our final opponent. Figured as much. It is gonna be freaking Sanada. Oh boy, and we do not serve first. Oh boy. Alright, let's see if we can get through this. Sanada is a very tough opponent. Especially in these settings. I think he can do some really good stuff, but we'll see if we can get through him with our raw, unadulterated skill. And by that I mean spamming a bunch of specials. Shouldn't be too hard. I don't think he has any specials that are as... No. Oh. The serve into the fucking laugh. That was like a hard one. Yeah, he has a lot of power, unfortunately. I think he also has pretty solid ball speed. He should be, in general in this series, he's one of the best characters. Bayonarn. He's, the captain of like the best team, right? So obviously in this game he's really good. Oh boy, this is really fast. I guess might as well. Oof, God, he serves so fast. Thankfully he serves so fast that I can like try and return it just as fast that he can barely catch up. Ooh, with the service ace. Oh boy. Alright, so we gotta definitely find a way to break his serve here. Oof, he's gonna go to super mode here. Oh no. I can't do anything about this. It's just destroyed us. Very convincing game 1 for Sama here. Alright, let's see if we can come back real quick. Our good old tactics here. Serve in, volley into a good volley. This should be way more effective than it was against Shishido, considering that Sanada is nowhere near as mobile. He still is very mobile, but he doesn't have a special that automatically transports him to the ball. So, should be able to get our heat back here, hold our serve, and also tie up the game 1-1 here. So that's another serve into our falling volley here. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like a rising volley or a half volley, as it's more colloquially known. But I think it's kind of lame. Rising volley sounds a lot better. It makes a little bit more sense. Half volley conceptually makes a lot of sense too, because the reason they call it half volley is because it's between a volley and a normal shot. Because you're hitting it basically as soon as the ball bounces on the ground. And you're kind of like swinging through it in sort of like a half volley, half swing kind of motion. So that's kind of why they call it a half volley. Since you're trying to like just jam it in, similar to a volley, but you're also swinging as well. But a rising volley makes sense because you're hitting just as the ball is rising up. So they both kind of make sense. Just rising sounds a little bit more cooler. We're doing a pretty bad job on serve here. Kind of flombed our super. See if I can find a way. I'm typically very good at. Oof, wrong side. Damn it. I'm typically very good at, returns of serve. It's probably my biggest strength in this game, but I'm not doing a great job today, I can tell you that much. At the very least, Jito's ability here to let us get our super mode. Does it activate again? Okay. I should have done that. I don't have enough bar. Let's see if I can come up here, immediately use this, and then use this. Whew, clutch. Made the most use out of all my bars too. Because I did build up, a gauge a little bit, so I managed to use it somewhat before going to super mode, where I will have more or less infinite C gauge, but once it's gone, I'll be empty. And they want to talk about a little bit about how I've been taking this series so far. In season 6, I've started this sort of new format where I'm trying my best to do 2 matches in one. I feel like that'll help me speed things up a little bit, and also I can cut out some of the stuff so I'm not like just rambling around in the middle trying to like stall for time until the match is over and whatnot, which sometimes isn't so bad. Sometimes I can get into it pretty well, and sometimes it's kind of rough. And I figured, considering how difficult these games are, I'm gonna need some time to actually focus. That was somehow a smash ace, whatever we take those. So that kind of gives me the opportunity to do that. But there we go. I don't know how well it's actually working out, especially with games like the one I just had with Shishido, where there was like a crazy story arc with all the history and rivalry with Shishido as a whole in the whole series, and then the crazy back and forth we had. But I caught most of it on screen, but not as much as I really wanted to. I'm gonna guess this side. Fuck. Oh shit, it's like literally 50-50. Bar up real quick. Now if we can just break this serve, we're going to be in an immensely good spot going further here. Should be a point here. Can you just smack this in? Oof. It's going to give us a nice... Oh, I thought that was going to be a smash. Damn. I didn't go back enough. Or went 2 back? One of those. Oh no, that's... Ooh, it's out! It is out! Heck yeah. That is going to be our game. We're actually going to break Sanada's amazing serve. And I'm hoping that I can keep doing this format, especially going further in a couple of the tournaments that I'm going to have in the future. I think it'll be very useful. I always think of it as sort of like in the anime and like any other anime in general, not so much just Prince of Tennis specific. But they just cut out some of the things and just focus on some of the major points. I'm trying to find a good balance of doing that. There are a couple of points in between where I kind of miss out. I feel like some good shit. For example, I've I've learned that if Sana uses his serve and I have any super mode or super gauge, he just completely wipes it out. As you can see here, just completely went, did his thing, boop, my gauge is gone. Which was fucking crazy. But yeah, I think I'll get better at it eventually, especially depending on the sort of match types. Singles is a little bit tough to sort of figure that out, but you know, for stuff like when I have to play doubles matches that are kind of long, or even mixed matches, I can sort of experiment with that. Especially the survival singles and stuff like that. Which at the moment, I don't know if I have to do any of those. We were actually pretty even when it comes to serves versus returns. I got no service aces, but he got 4, but I managed to get 4 return aces while he got none, and I managed to beat him out with 4 smash aces. He didn't use as many specials as I did. I got a little bit gun-ho, I guess, after having to deal with Shishido, but can you blame me? And that's actually going to do it for the Ultimate Singles Tournament. I guess let me know down in the comments below what you think of the new format that I've done for this tournament. I'm gonna end up doing it at least for the next 1 or 2 tournaments. And, you know, but if it sucks, I guess let me know. We won't really have another season to try it out, so you'd have to let me know as soon as possible. But let's see what's at the end of these credits. We're actually going to get ourselves Inui as a coach, which is kind of whatever, to be honest, but I guess really quickly, let's go over to the Smith shops here, and you hear Smith's disgusting voice here. You can see this, you can't actually see it. Hold on, let's switch screens for you. There we go. This is the bottom screen here. You can see this SOH, which is Spirit of Hardcore tournament. Costs so goddamn much. I don't actually have enough to buy it. I'm going to have to play another tournament in order to get it. And then this MH, or M1 here, I don't know why I said H, is gonna dip into my funds quite a lot. So I'm gonna have to do some grinding before the next match. But until then, take care.